All right, welcome to another episode of the Couch Bros podcast. This is going to be a very, very, very loaded episode. We are breaking down all the playoff games. You feel me? We might touch on the Dolphins because I know Rod had a lot to talk about as far as the ending of the season. Maybe a little bit of NBA towards the end. You feel me? Depending on how times go. But this is going to be a football-packed episode. We have our You're the Worst quarterback performances, a special top 10 this week, and we're doing Worst Dope, everything that you guys love and adore about this podcast. So let's get it. All right. The season is finally over. 2020 came to a close. We are in 2021. This is the first episode of 2021. We did miss last week because we said, in fact, we didn't miss last week. We just didn't give you, we didn't have one on this earlier this week. So this is officially the first episode of 2021. We want to break down all the games. This is going to be a long episode, so get your popcorn ready, to quote the great Terrell Owens. How y'all boys doing though, man? What did y'all enjoy about the season? What did y'all not like about the season? What were y'all opinions about how COVID impacted the season? I'm gonna start with you, Rod.
I mean, for a football season, well, especially for me, considering I'm a Dolphin fan. You know what? Since I'm on the topic, I'll just get it out the way now, since we're gonna be touching the playoff games. The season overall, this was an exciting season of football. I think, the COVID aspect, while it kind of messed things up, also added some excitement to it, because when you think about it, we actually got to watch. This is maybe the only year we will ever have football every day of the week, at least once. We had a Tuesday game, we had a Wednesday game, we always have Thursday game. We had a Friday game with the Vikings and the Saints. So the COVID made a lot of things unpredictable. They changed the schedule around, and we have to commend the NFL for actually getting through the season. It could have been a lot worse, and it didn't end up being. I mean, we got like a couple wonky classic games out of it, including the game with a practice squad receiver as a quarterback. We got to see an emergency quarterback, something I never even knew existed. That's what COVID did for us. But in terms of the actual football, I mean, this is actually one of the better seasons I think I can remember, bro. I mean, think about it, bro. This is the first year they're adding a 7th playoff spot, and there's a team, my team, couldn't even get in with 10 wins, bro. And when you look at the NFC, we got the Redskins, who didn't even go 500, and we got the Bears, who fucking just bled into the playoffs thanks to the fucking the Cardinals. What happened to the Cardinals, bro? Like, they were one of the hottest teams. I think they started like 6-2, and they just fell off the map.
What happened to the Cardinals is what happened to any team that has been coached by Cliff Kingsbury, dog. Think about it. Cliff, bro, because the fact that both his letters have K, it shit throws me off every time. But Cliff Kingsbury has had, and mind you, this is a gauntlet of quarterbacks, played with Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes, and Kyler Murray. And he sucks as a coach with all of them. Do you know how talented you have to be to not get points, or get points with them in college but not win, and then not get points in the NFL with Kyler Murray? And trust me, Kyler Murray has his faults as well, but the offense is so bad, bro. Like, it prioritizes screens and bubble screens and side screens and wide receiver screens, and like, he is what I hate about coaches, and I talk about this every week, damn near. I feel like a broken record, but he is what I hate about coaches. If you can't adapt, then get the fuck out, bro. And it's that simple, bro. But go on, Rod.
Nah, Herb, I completely agree. But no, man, this was a really good season, man. We got a lot of exciting games. We lost some good players due to injury this year. Like, Dak is one of them. I was waiting on Gerson to say something, but he didn't say that. Now I said we lost some good players this year, and I said, like Dak. We lost a couple other guys, but in terms of the year itself, I mean, there was a lot of good football teams this year. Fucking, we got to see the worst. This had to be the worst division in history, the NFC East. Like,
no, because 7-9 won, so that equals
Oh yeah, it equals the Seahawks divisions. Yeah, back in it. Okay.
See history though. I did want to see history.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We came extremely close to seeing a 6-win team get in the playoffs, which would have been crazy. But when it comes down to it, my team is the Dolphins, and I've said it several times all year. And in the beginning of the year, I had us going 7-9, 8-8 maximum, and we exceeded that by 2 wins. We had an interesting season, man, because we started with the Fitzmagic roller coaster, and then we got the Tua coaster after that, which includes Fitzpatrick being a relief pitcher. But when it comes to the team, granted the way we ended was terrible. Actually, this is how I looked at it. The Dolphins impressed all year, and then they waited till the last game to do what they do. Disappoint, But all in all, though, I mean, I'm not, I feel good about the prospects of the team and everything I've seen this year. The one thing I was looking forward to was development. We went 5-11 in Flores' first year. We went 10-6 his second year. We have the third pick. We have 3 picks in the first 36 out of the first 36. We have a bright future off season. We got cap space. The Dolphins, for the first time in a long time, are in a good position. I can see where they're trying to go. So I feel good about it. I think the defense will get better. I hope that we, have a good draft. You can't just say, oh yeah, we got all these picks. We could do nothing with them, But hopefully whatever capital we spend on draft picks works in our favor. But all in all, we had a good season. I got to see my boy Xavier Howard got to be defensive player of the year. You know what I'm saying? So, it was a good year, man. I can't complain, And I know some people might be down on Tua because of his last couple performances, but I can assure you that I think he will definitely be a better player next year.
All right, so that's all that actually matters. Hey, you had a good season. Congratulations. All right, whoop de fucking do. All right, let's talk about Tua. I don't want to get too long because we've had all season to talk about Tua. However, the season's over. Once the season's over, the playoffs are going on, but for the teams who didn't make it, it's immediately draft time, bro. The draft is coming up. There's a lot of people who's like, you motherfuckers to draft another quarterback, bro. It's crazy how quick shit changes, dog. So how do you feel about that? And I'm gonna let Gerson get in on it as well.
I think they're being preposterous, bro. What would have happened? And I know Josh Allen is actually a pretty special case, but what would have happened if the Bills after the first year were just oh man, fuck this nigga, he ain't gonna be shit. You have to try different things. The Bills went out, they changed their offensive coordinator, and they got Josh Allen some weapons. The receivers that we had, people gotta understand something about the Dolphins receivers. We can say what we want about Fitzpatrick coming in the game and looking good. We had receivers who ranked 27th in yards after the catch. We were top 5 in least separation, and we had number 3 in drops. We did not have a good receiving core. We had a guy who made them look better than they were, and we had a rookie who wasn't comfortable with the way the NFL. I mean, come on, Tua played with fucking Alabama's receivers. The way he saw open in college wasn't what he was seeing in the NFL. Even then, early in the year, he threw in the tight windows all year. So it's just toward the end of the season that teams figured out. I don't even know what it was because I was watching the film on the Raiders game. And I was watching film on the Raiders game, and I was thinking to myself, damn, so what the fuck were you confused about? These niggas are just running Tampa too. But in terms of all the negative criticism people are giving to, I think it's ridiculous. The kid started he wasn't even supposed to start this year. He played in 9 games. He went 6-3 of those games. Regardless of what you feel about the defense and everything else, he played more good than he did bad. But he didn't excite like Justin Herbert. He didn't excite Joe Burrow, who it sucks that he got hurt. But I think it's crazy that people are thinking that the nigga's a bust or that we should draft the quarterback. Let's give the nigga some time. Let's give this nigga a full off season. Let's give him some receivers that suit his game, and we'll see what happens. Our offensive coordinator Chan Gailey. They let him go or he resigned, one or the other. He's not going to be on the team, which makes me think Fitzpatrick is going to be gone. And he has to be gone, in my opinion, only because, this little whole, this is one thing about Brian Flores because he did this his first year with Rosen and Fitzpatrick, too. He did the whole quarterback swap thing, but they were both viewed as bad before Fitz got hot with us. So I'm wondering. I'm thinking to myself, like, I hope this isn't like a thing Flores thinks he should do. But it sounds like, from what the team is saying, they're gonna ride with Tua, and I think they should. He showed some good things this year. He showed he showed anticipatory skills. He showed, he could look off safeties. He did some good things in the passing game. So he had a few bad games. I ain't worried.
Hey, you talked it into me in the sense that, like, it'd be bad to let him go. But what I would say is, like, even in Allen's rookie year, yeah, he couldn't throw, but he showed that he was like a weapon. Like, he could run. You see him run past linebackers and burn people out. So it's like, all right, at least he's a weapon. The problem with Tua is he's not special for him. Like, I remember you talking about he makes all the right plays and he does all that. And to me, bro, if your quarterback's not special, it's like, all right. I understand the dilemma of, like, either you have a bad quarterback or you have a good quarterback or you have a great quarterback. And at most, I could see him just be a good quarterback. And if you always have a good team around a good quarterback, you're going to win games, bro. So, like, yeah. But from this year and what I see, I ain't seen nothing special. I truly do believe you probably would have the same record with what's in there. Whatever way it would be. Like, either you would win a different game, but, lose a different one, something like that. But I still believe that with the talent your team has, you still would have had the same record. So, but what I really wanted to do is talk about how I've grown and, like, learned to try to understand people. And I never understood the joy of watching your opponent, your team lose, bro. Like, like, you feel me? Like, your team has never been this good. So I can never sit there and hate on y'all and be happy when y'all lose or, not expect it. But you not making the playoffs has been one of the best moments of this season for me as a Patriots fan. I cannot deny. I was like, yes, they lost. I like, but if the Colts lose, they can still get in. Then the Colts won. I was like, yes. It's like, yes.
You know what, though, Gerson?
And I was like, wait. And I was like, this is what Rodney must feel all the time these past 20 years of us not winning the Super Bowl or something.
I was just about to say, I was like, in a fucked up way, like, yeah, the Dolphins didn't make the playoffs, but to me, like, it was the flip side too, because I was able to watch your team all year and be like, God, they so garbage. Like, I had the luxury of looking at a Bill Belichick Patriot team and just being like, damn, these niggas are so sorry. Oh God, watching Patriots games was hard to do this year. As much as I've hated these niggas my whole life, when Tom Brady was the quarterback, you guys were inarguably one of the funnest teams to watch because you had, I don't know, arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, maybe easily the greatest quarterback of all time, depending on what you look for. Definitely the most accomplished. But, dude, like, watching the Patriots this year was just like, damn, man. Like, it was, bro, Cam Newton threw 8 touchdowns this year, man. He played in 15 games, bro.
Nah, it wasn't 15.
He played in 15. He missed one. The only game he missed was the Chiefs game.
Yeah, you probably be right.
So
you only missed one. You got benched.
But it's funny how the tables turn. Trust me, Gerson, I had fun watching your team all year, bro. It brought joy to my heart, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm pretty sure it did. But
now I know how you guys feel as Shannon Sharp was saying, I'm in the catbird seat. I know how y'all feel. Oh, I guess it's the Bills. I'm happy the Bills went in before y'all niggas. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know how much. Like, the thing is, we had the conversation of, like, how much do we believe in Allen and stuff like that. It could be next year he come back sorry as fuck too. It's possible.
Well, okay. So back to your point as far as being special, and that's the one thing I was gonna bring up or regard. Like, you took the words out of my mouth. No matter what you felt about Josh Allen, because he had so many tools to work with, you're gonna keep giving him all the chances in the world because there's things he could do that you can't teach. The problem with Tua is there's nothing he's elite at. He doesn't have elite arm strength. He doesn't have elite size. He doesn't have elite speed. So there's nothing that he could fall back on if plan A isn't working. if Lamar Jackson doesn't have it passing, he might feel like he's off. He could just take off and juke dudes all over the field, right? If Josh Allen is inaccurate, it doesn't matter, bro, because he can stiff arm linebackers, dog. You feel me? If Patrick Mahomes doesn't have chance to get his feet set, he can still throw it 60 yards down the field off of one leg, bro. Tua doesn't have any elite traits, and I think that is the reason why the conversation is so fast. It's, in my opinion, I'm not going to say stupid, and I don't think it's too quick, but I think that's what people see. Like, the thing with Joe Burrow doesn't have elite traits too, but he has elite accuracy in the things that I'm not going to say excuses, because at the end of the day, you need a team around you to be successful, but Joe Burrow had a worse team than the fucking Dolphins, and he had them in every game that they played. You could say he had better receiving threats. The dude from Clemson ain't all that, bro. AJ Green can't even run 10 yards anymore, dog. Like, just a name, bro. And look what he was able to do with a terrible coach in Zach Taylor, bro. You feel me? So looking back, knowing what kind of season that Joe Burrow had, I can't give that off to Tua. But I don't want to talk about that too much because we got months and the draft is coming up. We could do that all day. I do want to go ahead and switch my focus onto the actual playoffs, though, bro. And we have a full slate of games, my boys. Starting with the Bills and the Colts. This is it's going to be a lot of happy white people in the Midwest looking at this shit, bro. Oh, my God, bro. You got freaking quote-unquote blue-collar Colts fans and blue-collar Bills fans, boy. It's going to be a bunch of fucking mayo on TV going crazy for this one, dog. But this is one of the rare games where both teams like to do the same thing. Just one team does it way better than the team that they're playing, dog. And I'm talking about the Bills, bro. Like, I was looking up stats for this game, like trying to, seem educated. Something was crazy that I found, though. Not only is Josh Allen completing 71% of his passes on first down, he's averaging 9 yards an attempt on first down. And I think what is it? Like, I think he has 8 touchdowns or something. It's bonkers, bro. Like, it's ridiculous. And then his number one receiver, Stephon Diggs, who had 127 receptions, by the way. Good God. How wrong I was, bruh. Dude has 54 of his 94 receptions 54 of his 94 attempts all on first down. And he has 6 touchdown receptions on first down. So, you have Xavier Rhodes, who looked bad when he left the fucking Vikings. Much better when he got to the Colts. He's about to get his ass dusted, bro. Because the Colts defense started really good, got worse progressively. And if you got worse while playing in a bad division, that means your defense actually is really bad, bro. Because you don't have – because think about it. You have the Texans, the Jags, and
who are really a one-sided team.
Yeah, who are a one-sided team that, you feel me, and really boost your stats. So I don't really think it's going to be close, dog, just for the simple fact that there's nothing that the Colts, in my opinion, do that can really stop the Bills from doing what they want to do. Their rush defense isn't all that great, even though they got Darius Leonard. Their pass defense isn't all that great. You're asking me to trust Phillip Rivers. I'm not doing that, especially in the playoffs. Hell no. So I'm not going to be surprised if the Colts were able to win. I just think that the Bills right now, they're just too dominant, bro. They've covered their spread. They've won all their last 7 games. They're covering every spread. Like, not only are they beating teams, they're beating teams decisively. And this isn't the team that I think they're going to have any kind of issues with, bro. Like, if it's a close game, it'll be a close game at the score, but it'll be one of those games where if you watched it, you realize it wasn't close at all, in my opinion.
I mean, outside of Colts fans, like, I don't think anybody outside of Colts fans, and maybe the few fans Phillip Rivers has, are going to be thinking the Colts are going to win. But, football is a funny sport. But you mentioned it, Herb. When you match the teams up head up, I mean, what do the Colts do better than the Bills? Absolutely nothing. What position do they have that's better? I mean, the quarterback, the most important position, Josh Allen is people are talking about him possibly being MVP. We know that's either going to be Rodgers, likely Rodgers or Mahomes. But Josh Allen's played incredible this year, and the Colts defense to me doesn't seem there's only maybe one or two defenses in the league I feel like that could really slow down a team like the Bills or the Chiefs, and it's not the Colts. Even though they started off as one of the better defenses, they've leveled out. They've regressed to the mean a little bit. And against the Bills, bro, against Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, bro, like they're not gonna have an answer for that. And Phillip Rivers, bro, we've seen Phillip Rivers we know what Phillip Rivers is, bro. He's the guy that can look really good in the regular season, and even now he's up and down. But playoff Rivers is like, who is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want me to trust that guy? Like, we can say what we want about Josh Allen. He made his first playoff appearance last year, and he went up against Deshaun Watson, and he was up in that game. And Deshaun Watson is another elite quarterback in this league. But this is the game. And this is my belief. This is the game that's going to build Josh Allen's legacy for real, because that's where you really build your legacies in the playoffs. And this is just going to be I don't think the game is going to be close. It may end up being close. It's the playoffs. You never know. But I don't think the game is going to be close. I think the Bills are going to it might start off a little tough, but I think the Bills are going to take care of business, man. I think they're going to, if I were to give it a score, the Bills might win this shit like 36 to like 20, bro. I think they're going to hand the Colts. They're going to give the Colts everything they can handle, and I think they're going to make a statement in the AFC.
Well, it wouldn't be a statement game if the Bills won. That's not true. But the thing is, bro, like I said, I'm not a believer in Allen, bro. So, like, I wouldn't be shocked if he lost them the game. And that's the way they would lose the game. Like, Allen would lose it. The Bills are the second best team in the AFC East. I mean, in the AFC.
I would argue that they're the best, bro. The Chiefs have the best record. But when you really look at if you really looking
complete
at the
team,
complete team, I would give the nod to the Bills. But go ahead.
That's fair.
But. All right, so sorry to cut you off, but my thing is this though, like I don't understand what more does he have to do, bro? He has more than 40 total touchdowns. He's completing 71% of his passes. He's accounting for 72% of their offense, bro. Like literally, he is the reason. He is what makes the team go. Like, I get it. It sounds crazy. Like, he made the playoffs when he didn't even know what he was doing last year, dog. Like, so now that he got better as a quarterback, I just put it like this. He's been too good, in my opinion, for me to just be waiting for it to happen. Like, waiting for it to happen. Not saying it won't happen. Not saying it can't happen. But I'm done with all right, next week, he's going to revert back. I've seen enough of him being dominant for a long stretch to know that he knows how to play the quarterback position. If it's a bad game, it's not because he came back to reality. It's more or less that it just was a bad game, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that's the argument to anyone that's raw on that level. Like, everybody's going to sit there and wait until Lamar Jackson fuck up. Like, you either know what you're getting, either you see it early or you see it in desperate situations where they come back, like in the Browns situation where they were just up and he left, and he came back and it changed the whole game. So, like, that's what I'm expecting. Like, I know he's a good quarterback now. But do I believe, like now, the only team I think is acceptable for them to lose to is the Chiefs. So if they lose to anyone else, I don't want to hear anything. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they're the Bills. None of us are going to want to hear anything if they fucking lose. I'm going to give Bills fans so much shit if they I know a couple, bro. I'm going to give them so much shit if they lose to the Colts, bro.
Not even the Colts, like Texans or the Ravens. And only team that they're allowed to lose to is the fucking Chiefs. Like, if he's everything you believe you just said and all that other stuff, he makes it to the AFC Championship. And he does not look like a bum when he loses at the AFC Championship because he got the best team in the AFC.
No, that's perfectly fair. That's perfectly fair. You see me. You got a dominant wide receiver. You have a great play caller. You have a defense that wasn't as good as it was last year, not even close, but good enough. situationally, and that's all you need. You feel me? 1 or 2 plays, because everybody's going to be able to score. It's the playoffs, bro. Everybody can put points on anybody, bro. There's no Legion of Boom. There's no Steel of Curtain, or there's no there's no purple people eaters, bro. Like, you feel me? So that day and age is gone. Like, it's really hard to be super dominant with the rule changes. So you need a defense that can make a play, get a turnover when it matters. So yeah, you're fair. I do want to move on to the next game though. Rams Seahawks, one of the rare games where a team plays each other 3 times in one season. And normally I don't like seeing that. However, this is completely different because 1, these niggas don't like each other. 2, I have matchups everywhere. 3, regardless how I feel about Jared Goff, he still is on a good team, and I would prefer to be able to watch a good team versus a good team. And this is one of those styles, Marvin Hagler versus Sugar Ray Leonard. You feel me? Like, Robert, you feel me? This is a true style makes matches, because even when the Seahawks were dominant and the Rams weren't good, the Rams would just know how to beat the Seahawks, dog. You feel me? Even when it was Jeff Fisher, they knew how to beat the Seahawks, like peak Seahawks, Super Bowl, like dominant in the playoffs. And it'll be that team where you're just like, how the fuck did the Seahawks lose to the Rams, bruh? Division games, bro. Division games, bro. And I think up to this point, it's tied. I think it's 17-17, like to this point or some shit like that, right? So, last game the Rams played the Seahawks, it was 20-9. Now, you could throw that out the window. Jared Goff got hurt. He's coming off of thumb surgery. I don't want to use that excuse because that nigga's trash to me anyway, bro. So that just felt like that was Jared Goff. I couldn't tell the difference, dog. But this is going to be, in my opinion, this is literally going to be depending on how effective he can be. Because at the end of the day, you're going to need to score 20 points to beat Russell Wilson in the playoffs. You feel me? And even with Russell Wilson having duds, and even when the Seahawks have duds, because they've had duds. Like a couple of weeks ago, I think they only put up like 16 points. They've had duds. They could have a bad game. But this is going to be very dependent on Jared Goff, because they're both the Seahawks won. The Rams won the first game. Seahawks won the second game, bro. So it could go either or. That's how I feel. So how do you feel about the game, bro?
Well, the number one matchup I'm looking forward to, and in this game is DK Metcalf and Jalen Ramsey. Man, like, I remember the first time they met up, DK didn't have a good game, bro. Jalen put the clamps on him. I don't remember exactly how well. I don't have the stats with me. I don't remember how well he performed second game, but I'm gonna be paying close attention to it. But Herb, I'm with you in the Jared Goff camp, bro. Like, and we both been saying this like forever, bro. Sean McVay, bro, he should probably get Coach of the Year every year, bro. Because the fact that he could keep getting 10 wins, 9 wins, 11 wins out of Jared Goff is fantastic to me, bro. Because I watched Jared Goff in some games, and I know he doesn't know what the fuck he's looking at, bro. Like, that nigga will just be sitting in the pocket, just bouncing around, just waiting for somebody to get open like it's schoolyard football, not understanding anything. But this is gonna be one of those fucking. I expect it to be a close game. I expect the Rams defense, which was great all year. It's so sad to me that the Rams defense was actually really, really good, and it's just like nobody cares, bro, because it's just like, oh, Jared Goff is your quarterback, and he's due for a stinker every other game, and he didn't play last game. So is this the game where he gives you another stinker, man? Like, I don't know, Gerson, how you feel?
I don't expect a good game because it's the Rams, man, and everything you say about Jared Goff is true. Like, he can be one of the best quarterbacks and he can be one of the worst quarterbacks. It's the fixed magic effect, bro. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get. You might get a good game from him. You might get a real bad game from him. Seahawks supposed to win, man. It's just simple as that. If the Seahawks lose, I'll be shocked.
Really? You'd be shocked? I wouldn't be shocked. Those teams, they played. Nah, you can't be, bro. Those two teams, like, if you know the history, bro, like, you can get that game is a crapshoot. So I mean, I wouldn't say I'd be surprised that the Seahawks would. I wouldn't be surprised that the Rams could beat them. I mean, we've seen the history of it. Two Super Bowl teams. The Rams actually weren't successful, and the Seahawks were, but we could go at that all day. When it comes down to the game itself, The way I think it plays out, I think it's going to be one of those slugfest type of games. The Seattle defense started off as like historically bad, and they actually got better throughout the season. Jamal Adams and Carlos Dunlap have something to say about that. But the Seahawks defense isn't like, it's still not good. But against a quarterback like Jared Goff, they know him. Sean McVay knows him. They're going to have success. It's going to be a tough game. But I think the Seahawks are going to pull through. Russell Wilson's going to do Russell Wilson things, and they'll be on to the next round.
Well, I would like to say shortly, my point is, man, like, in the NFL, the position is the quarterback position, bro. What's your quarterback going to look like during that game? That's why anything goes, bro. You can have a great quarterback for the regular season and then playoffs play like shit. That's what I expect from fucking golf, dog. So that's why I would sit there and be like, yo, I'm going to be surprised if they lose. Because no matter how difficult of a game it is, like, pull it out. Russell Wilson, pull it out. Because golf is not going to make the necessary plays, or at least I don't believe he's going to make the necessary plays to win. So that's just how I see it.
All right, so let's go ahead and get to the Sunday night game, which is, to me, the actual most interesting game for a variety of reasons, dog. Like, this is where we see if the Bucs, and the game I'm referencing Sunday night, which is still crazy to me, the fact that the Washington football team is – I understand they took advantage of a bad defense, a bad division, I should say, but why are they the primetime game, bro? That's the part that doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever, right? How the cookie crumbles, man.
No, it's funny you mentioned it. When I first looked at the schedule and I seen that the Bills-Colts game was like the one, I was like, first of all, they put the Bills, the 2 seed, at 1 o'clock. Like, damn, I ain't got no respect for them boys, but go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, listen, bro, one thing about the NFL, they're going to put Tom Brady on prime time, bro. They're going to put Tom Brady on prime time. They're going to put the Cowboys on prime time, boy, because the motherfuckers do numbers. All right, so let's actually get into the meat and potatoes of the game. Okay. Funny thing. The Bucs are the Jekyll and Hyde. They'll be Jekyll, and it's funny that I even use this because now I don't know which is which. I'm guessing Jekyll is the good doctor. Jekyll is anytime they play a team under 500. The Hyde is anytime they play a winning team, bro. They're 1-5 against good teams. The only team that they beat is a team that has the number 1 seed in the Packers, which is bonkers to me, dog. So this is the combination of both of those teams. The Washington football team is both a good team and a bad team. So I don't know what the Bucs are gonna do, bro. So this is what's really confusing because the Washington football team does the good things on defense that the Bucs hate, which is get pressure with 4 and be able to cover with 8 or 7 easily. Montrez Sweat, Ryan Kerrigan, defensive rookie of the year Chase Young. They're gonna be situations where they're going to get pressure on Tom Brady. Tom Brady does not like pressure. Mike Evans might not play this game. I doubt that he'll miss it because this is literally, and this is another thing, it's his first playoff game, bro. This is the first time that Mike Evans has ever played in a playoff game, bro. 7 years in. First time. So this is one of the most interesting games because so much is on the line. Tom Brady cannot lose this game, bro. Even though it's not a optimal matchup for him, he still cannot lose this game because, yeah, he has 6 touchdowns. He has 6 Super Bowls, I should say. Excuse my language. But you can't go out in the first round to the fucking Washington football team, the team that doesn't even have a fucking mascot right now, bro. Hell nah, bro.
Well, here's the thing, though. I being someone that roots for Tom Brady, dude, and the Bucs, I really hope they do win, but I can see them losing. I can see why they lose because at the end of the day, the line is a great line, and every time he faced a great line, he looked like shit. Tom Brady, I mean. But I do not believe the Washington can do anything to score. And that's where it's like, all right, defensively they can slow down the Bucs. They can't even stop the Bucs. I don't believe Washington can do anything offensively, bro, against the Bucks. So I can see this being a really ugly game, or I can see this being a real blowout. Either way, if the Redskins win, that's gonna be a terrible loss for Tom Brady. This is like people talk about, is this season a success? It's a success for the Buccaneers because, like we said, bro, 7 years straight for my dog. He ain't never go to the playoffs. Mike Evans. So, like, yeah, they finally made it to the playoffs. But for Tom Brady, he has to at least make it to the NFC Championship.
Oh, that's how you feel? I thought you were going to keep going.
Nah, that's it.
First of all, man, Washington has to do something soon because we can't call them the Redskins anymore because that's not their name. But I refuse to refer to them as the football team. We talk about 31 other football teams. I'm not going to call them Washington football. Bro, I've hated that all year, bro. I have to ask my dog Steve how he feels about that, man, because it would kill me if we were the Miami football team. I would just feel like, what the fuck is that? In regards to the game, though, you guys basically brought up the points that I was going to bring up. When we talked about earlier when it came to the Seahawks and the Rams being styles make fights, this is going to be maybe the most interesting version of that in this first round of the playoffs because we have a team whose style is to play ugly and conservative. Alex Smith, I think, is going to be the quarterback, right? So, Alex Smith can win you a playoff game. He's won playoff games in this league. And he has a defense that actually caters to the weaknesses of the opposing team's quarterback. Tom Brady is a 43-year-old man who does not like getting hit. No quarterback, no person likes getting hit. No quarterback wants to get hit after 20 years of getting hit. And going up against a team that's very capable of doing that. And I also, this is just me, this is just a personal thing. I just think it's a curse to play an under 500 team at home ever since watching the Seahawks play the Saints, bro. Because that was the game where Marshawn Lynch had that crazy run along with that earthquake and shit. And I just feel like this is just one of those games I feel like in theory Tom Brady should win because he against teams that were under 500 he balled out, right? But this is the one team under 500 that actually does exactly what they don't like, from a defense opposing an offense standpoint. So, I don't want to sound crazy. I actually think Washington has a really good shot of winning this game. People are saying like, "Oh, I'm not surprised." I'll pick them to win the game. All right, I think they'll probably beat them, bro. Now, granted, I don't hate Tom Brady no more. He's not a Patriot. I've actually been rooting for Tom Brady because I love all the hatred from the Patriots fans. Like, I love all the bitterness, Tom, he's a bug. Now, every time he lost, they were talking shit. Oh, yeah, you see? Yeah, Bill, that's why we kept Bill. Y'all ain't do shit this year without Tom Brady.
If they had Tom Brady, like, maybe one more win, bro, if we lucky. I looked at it the year before when he left, bro. The man only got 24 touchdowns, dude.
That's a lot better than 5 or 6, 8. That's a lot better than 8, bro.
3 times as many as Cam.
8, but better receiving core, better. Like, everything got worse.
Better.
Yeah, last year we looked it up. You want to look it up?
No, I don't want to look up anything, bro. I don't care anymore.
Bet.
I don't care anymore. It's okay, bro. It's okay. It's okay, bro. All I want to say in regards to that is Tom Brady threw 40 touchdowns, right? Yeah, he had Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. You feel me? Cool. The thing that is more impressive, and I was listening to the PFF podcast, and they brought it up, and this is kind of, I'm not going to say proof, but this is the value of Tom Brady, and this is where you guys going 7-9, especially in games that could have gone either way. I'm pretty sure you probably would have got 10 wins with Tom Brady. Tom Brady would have got you 3 more wins. But let me explain why. Tom Brady had 12 interceptions this year, right? According to PFF, he only had 12 turnover-worthy plays. So every turnover that he had, he did it. Think about
So what you're saying is, whereas Mahomes had 16 drop picks this year, yes, Tom Brady literally had the worst interception luck.
He had the worst interception luck. So, and I say that to say this. even at his age, even at him not wanting to get hit and not having everything around him, he still understands where to go with the football. And that's all the Patriots want you to do. Like, it's not like the Patriots were going against great teams all season, bro. They went against the Dolphins twice, bro. You feel me? They went against the Jets twice. That's 2 free wins, bro. That's arguably 4 free wins right there. Arguably. I'm not going to disrespect the Dolphins like that. But those are arguable 2 wins that you could get. And you won a game. You feel me? You're definitely winning those 2 games with the Texans, the Raiders, the Broncos, the 49ers. Like, all of those games are winnable. And all of those games Tom Brady wins. Even last year, he didn't lose or look bad unless they play really good teams. The Patriots didn't play a lot of good teams this year. So what happened with the Patriots is towards the end, and you have to blame your fucking coach for this, you have a guy coming off of shoulder surgery, right? First game out the fucking gate. You have him with 15 rush attempts, dog. His body broke down, bro. And towards the end, you had a guy who could not start over Jarrett Stidham, dog. The only reason why he was he got bitched for Jarrett Stidham twice, bro. The only reason
because the teams was out of they couldn't win the game. They just sat him down.
Don't
tell me he start like Stidham start. No, don't do that.
You know if you're not aware enough to know what really happened, they started Cam Newton to save face. They've already said that they're not re-signing him, bro. If they really thought that he gave them the best chance to win towards the end of the season, 1, they would have kept him in the games. 2, or they would have tried to at least bring him back. There were times where they wanted to just say, fuck it, bro. We'll just start Jarrett Stidham to at least see what we got with him. But they couldn't do it because it's Cam Newton. You feel me? They didn't want to make Cam look bad. Out of respect to him. But towards the end of the season, they would have preferred to have Jarrett Stidham because at the end of the day, we're not going to the playoffs. I already know we don't want Cam Newton around. At least let me see what I got in Jarrett Stidham. So that's what I'm talking about, dog. So, again, I don't want to get caught up on that because we're talking about the playoffs, bro. We're doing hypotheticals. Like, I don't really care about the hypotheticals today. We could do that for the future. But I do believe Tom Brady would at least got y'all 9 wins. That's just my opinion.
9 is fair.
That's just my opinion.
10 is where I'm like, yo, come on.
That's another game. It's a fumble or a pick, bro. Like, it's one more game, bro. Like, it's one more game, bro. All right, on to Sunday's game. Again, the game I want to watch the most. It starts at 1 o'clock. Why is this not the fucking primetime game, bro? Ravens, Titans, and this is another game similar to what the Bucks and the Washington football team. It is the Ravens going against a team that they're designed to beat. Everything that the Ravens do on offense and what they excel at on offense is everything that the Titans are bad. The Titans have an abysmal rush defense, and they have the worst counter defense. So basically, if you do a lot of pull counters, a lot of sweeps, a lot of reverse and stuff like that, they give up the 4th most rushing yards, bro, in the league. What do the Ravens do best? Pull counters. You feel me? Not really knowing who has the football at one time, bro. Is it going to be Lamar Jackson? Is it going to be J.K. Dobbins? And I know a lot of people are going into last year and saying, oh, look what happened to the Titans. Look what happened to the Ravens last time they played the Titans, blah, 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 blah. Understand. And we've talked about this ad nauseum on this podcast. The Ravens are built to get a lead. They are not built to come back from a lead. A couple of bad plays here and there, they're already down double digits, bro. So you had to sacrifice your offense, and that game wasn't even really close. By the second quarter, you felt like the game was done. This is not going to be that. This is not last year. It is. The Titans don't have a decided advantage over the Ravens. That was just one of those games where shit happens, and there was nothing you could do about it. This is a much different game. So I personally feel that the Ravens should dominate the Titans. If the Ravens don't dominate the Titans, when the Titans are designed for the Ravens, like on a platter, then I'm going to have to start looking at Lamar Jackson. Because at some point, you have to be able to counter. And this is a guy who is really fucking good. Do you know he has 47 touchdowns and no interceptions since he's been in the league in the red zone, bro. That's ridiculous. No interceptions in the red zone, bro. He's really fucking good. He's a very smart quarterback, dog. And we talked about it too. We don't think it's him. We think it's the offense that he's in. But if you are dominant because the offense that you're in, you can't have it both ways. You can't be dominant and a product of the offense that you're in and the best player that you could find to maximize that offense and then complain about the offense is holding you back at the same time when the offense holds you back because there's no counterpunch that you could do to hurry up and score 2 or 3 points or 2 or 3 touchdowns to get you back in the game. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting from my perspective.
Yeah, Herb. The Ravens and Titans is a game that has intrigue from all aspects, right? Because we have the matchup last year. That's what everybody refers to. Everybody thinks back, and I remember last year we all thought, oh man, the Ravens, man, they finna whoop that ass. You know what I'm saying? Ravens are home. The Titans, like the Titans were coming off of that game against the Patriots. We were like, okay, the Titans. We thought it was a lucky win. Lo and behold, the playoffs last year was a preview of what the Titans were going to be going forward, at least up until this season. I will say, Herb, I agree with you on the point of, first of all, the Titans defense is just, like, the Titans don't have a defense, bro. Like, they have Derrick Henry, Tannehill, AJ Brown. They have an offense, but they have their defense has been one of the worst defenses in football this year. And one of the worst things, not just the rush defense, they gotta, I don't know this for certain, but I know they have one of the worst pass rushes in the league. But despite their problems on defense, the most interesting thing about the matchup between the Ravens and the Titans is I'm looking forward to seeing how their offense performs. I mean, the Titans were one of 3 teams that were scoring 30 points a game, with the only other guys being Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers putting up 30. And maybe the Bills, Josh Allen might have eclipsed that with like the crazy numbers they put up at the end of the year. But Ryan Tannehill, man, and Derek. First of all, no, I should say Derrick Henry, 2,000 yards rushing with no Pro Bowl offensive lineman. Fucking Ryan Tannehill, 33 touchdowns, 7 picks, almost 4,000 yards, 8 yards per attempt. They have an offense that can put up points. And in this game, I'm interested in seeing the Ravens defense was definitely getting better as the year went on. But will they be able to handle that offense? And what happens if the Titans get on a roll? Will the Ravens be able to match them? They should, because the Titans defense, like, this is a game that Lamar can't struggle in this game, because you're going up against one of the proven worst defenses in the NFL. I think this game will be a pretty close game. I think it's going to be a back and forth game between 2 offenses that I believe will be able to do what they want to do. Granted, the Ravens defense is better than the Titans defense by a wide margin, but the Titans offense has been potent all season long. So I'm still giving the Ravens the edge. I think Lamar gets his first playoff win, but I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I think it's gonna be an all out affair.
So I agree with everything you said, but what if Lamar doesn't struggle and it's a shootout and he threw for 5 touchdowns, run for 1, something like that? Like, it's a great game offensively for both sides. If he loses, y'all still gonna make him hold that L?
No, hell no. Like, think about it, right? I remember before Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers had a crazy game against the Cardinals in his first year starting, and I think it was 51-45. He put up 45 points. His defense gave up 51. Like, if it's one of those situations, there's going to be people who's going to hold it against him, but that's just people who want to hold it against him. That's people who don't like him for whatever reason. And he is one of the perfect test cases of people do not just like a nigga. That's just a regular dude, bro, that is unapologetically back. And he's not even loud. He's not demonstrative. Like, I hate that Cam gets it, but early on, there was reasons. Cam would throw people on the bus. This is before Cam became a professional football player. Lamar Jackson is a professional football player, pros pro. I barely know what he sounds like, bruh. Like, so you feel me? So
He sound like a Papa No dude.
Oh, I know. But obviously, but what I'm saying is he's so quiet. He's such a situation where it's like he's not. You feel me? It's like people just don't. And on top of that, he wasn't a number 1 pick. He was a 32nd pick. Like I could even say, oh, you want to prove that he's a bust. He's not as good as his draft stock determines that he is. He was at the end of the first round, dog. Like there's no reason to hold on to it. You feel me? If he is dominant, if he's not dominant, that's different. And that's what I hope for him, because at some point you got to get that monkey off your back, dog.
And there's no excuse for you not to be dominant when you know you're going up against a team that caters to all your strengths. On the other side of the ball, they should give you problems, but I think the Ravens shouldn't have a problem being able to put up points against the Titans. And I think ultimately because the Ravens have a better defense, they'll be able to make that play. They'll be able to get that turnover. They'll be able to get the stop that they need that'll keep the Titans from edging them. But I think it's going to be a close back-and-forth war out there. And they're two teams with very similar styles. They both pride themselves on running the football. One team has a 2,000-yard rusher. Other team has the best running quarterback in football, and he's a legit quarterback. He's really a quarterback that just runs extremely well. Like, he's honestly Vic 2.0, bro, to be honest with you. But I'll give the edge to the Ravens though. I think Lamar finally gets that monkey off his back, and I think the Ravens out of all the teams besides the Bills and obviously the Chiefs, they're the third team in the playoffs. I think like you go up against them, you start sweating.
All right, so let's go on to the next game, the 4:00 game, dude. And let me go ahead and get that up there. 4:00 game. I don't even want to talk about this game, bro. Like, why do I give a fuck about the Bears, who really shouldn't even be in this motherfucker, dog? And the Saints, who got a wash QB who can't throw 20. Listen, this is Sean Payton's finest performance, dog. Hands down.
Is it?
Of course it is.
Because we're talking about the same, like, haven't they made it to the NFC championship?
I'm not saying this is his most successful year. I'm saying this is his most impressive coaching job.
Why?
Because this team shouldn't win 10 games. Drew Brees is washed. Everybody knows what they're doing. Give the ball to Alvin Kamara. But he is so good at scheming him open that you can't do nothing about it. The nigga won games with Taysom Hill, bro. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, this is by far his best coaching job, dog. Like, yeah, he has a very good team. And then on top of that, how many games did Michael Thomas miss, bro? Like, you feel me? So there's no real reason why, because think about it. The games where Alvin had to play with Taysom Hill, he wasn't dominant. Alvin didn't have crazy games, bro. He had like 40 or 60 yards, dog. They still would win the games, bro. So this is by far his most impressive coaching performance, dog. That, to me, I don't even think it's disputable at this point, bro. Like, you saw Drew Brees against the Chiefs, bro. Like, they got points, and I don't know how they got scored points, dog. Like, real talk, bro. Dead ass, bro. So that dude is a hell of a goddamn coach, dog. And he's going against Matt Nagy, Mitch Trubisky, and the Bears. And I love this, bro. The last parting shot that Mitch Trubisky gave the Bears fans is being just good enough to kick the tire on him next year, bro. Like, that's the worst thing that he could have done, bro. Because he is just giving them enough to justify bringing him back for another year, bro. Like, he was better. Like, trust me, if I was a Bears fan, I would have hoped that he was awful, bro. Like, Ryan Pace is looking for any reason to keep Mr. Trubisky, dog. Like, and he gave it to him, bro. And Bears fans aren't better for that, dog.
Wait, I would like to say that I think the Bears would have been better with him playing than starting Nick Foles, because as soon as they put Nick Foles probably won like one game from what I could tell. I ain't look at it, but I like, hold up, like you brought this man here to beat this man out, and he didn't.
Well, here's the thing. I think it really depends on, like, as a fan, if you're a Bears fan, it's like, what were you looking for? Because them benching Trubisky for Nick Foles, lit a fire enough in Trubisky to make him look good enough to be the starter next year. And I've been here before. Like, Bears fans, I know. And Bears fans have been here before, too. It's called quarterback purgatory. And they are continuing to mire in that, bro. And I don't think – and this is a weird game. Like, if you were to ask me, out of all the playoff games this weekend, which one is the least interesting, I'd have to say it's this one. Only because, to me, I think the Saints – and it's not even like one of those things where I think is uninteresting because I think the Saints are going to dominate or whatnot. The Bears actually have a good team around Trubisky. They had a top 10 defense this year. They were able to manage 30 points a game outside of the Packers game. I think they were able to score 30 points in 4 straight games somehow. Well, largely because they started to they were running the football. They had a good balance on offense, but in terms of going up against the Saints. I mean, our matchup is Mitch Trubisky versus old man Drew, and it's just not interesting to me, man. Like, this is one of those games. Like, when it comes to the Saints and the Bears, I don't care who wins. Like, I don't even want to give it a score. It doesn't matter. Like, I think this game is gonna be a shit show, which is why that'll be the only interesting thing about it. But you know, like Drew Brees is one of my favorite players that I've ever watched, bro. And it's honestly like I hope he retires after this year, and I mean that like in a good way because he had enough left in the tank for him to not be completely horrible, but like you could tell, bro, like that nigga's done, bro. And I hope I hope I hope the Bears put an end to the Saints, man. Sorry, Joey, I know you're a Saints fan, if you listen to the podcast, but I don't want to see Drew like this no more.
Nah, but Drew. Here's the thing about Drew: you can be a good quarterback in the sense of being smart. Play well, make the right throws at the right times, being accurate. Drew Brees can do all that. Can his body hold up? The man had like 4.
Whoa. You lost me when you said make all the throws. He can't make all the throws anymore.
Well,
bro.
not deep throws, but
that's a part of it. Bro, you got to understand, and I really apologize for cutting you off. Making the throws matters because it makes it easier for your offense. If they know you're not going to throw it past 20 yards, they're going to have the safeties in the box, and they're going to play straight man press coverage. There's a possibility that the Bears win this game just because of Drew Brees' inability to throw deep anymore, bro. So, like, he'll literally handicap them. He'll handicap the Bears into a win because they have a good enough defense and a competent enough offense to score enough points. Like, you feel me? Like, Sean Payton is going to have to do magic, wizardry, dark magic, sell his soul to Kaludu or whatever the fuck that shit called to whip up points, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, the nigga's doing voodoo out there, bro. It's like, there's no threat on this offense except for Alvin Kamara and possibly Michael Thomas, who can get deep, but is not known for being a deep threat. So that's why I said, like, he can't make all the throws anymore. And the past couple games, he hasn't even been that accurate, which is why everything is behind the line of scrimmage, dog. I don't want to see Drew like this. The way, bro, honestly, bro, I might go grocery shopping while this game is on, bro. I'm finna be at Walmart, bro, or Publix for them 2 hours, bro. Like, I'm good, bro. I don't need to watch that, dog. Like, all right. So prediction, who y'all got, bro? I low key, I got the Bears, to be honest with you, bro. Like,
nah, I said it, bro. I want the Bears to put the Saints. Like, look, Saints fans, I'm not trying to doubt y'all, man, down y'all, but like, if this was Drew, if this was Drew playing like a couple years ago, I'm all for it, man. But I'm not trying to see Drew Brees throw 5-yard passes, basically throw 10 screens to Kamara, bro. Like, the Bears aren't pretty to watch either, but I just don't want to see my man Drew like this. And I think the Bears actually have a pretty legit shot of beating the Saints because they have a good defense. And the Saints have a good defense, too. The Saints are a complete team. But it's just a matter of, like, I'm just not trying to see Drew Brees or Taysom Hill in the playoffs for too long, bro. I'm not trying to say I'd rather see Mr. Trubisky, but in a sense I am because, a legitimately bad quarterback in the playoffs is always fun to watch. I don't want to see a great quarterback who can't be great in the playoffs anymore.
So I tried to look it up, and I was like, yo, would they have been better with Mr. Trubisky starting the whole year and looking at the stats and numbers? It was a complete fuck up that they put Nick Foles in, bro. This nigga was trash, dog.
No. You're right. You're right about them putting Nick Foles and the Nick Foles experiment failing. But I think with Nick Foles coming in and then
Mitch was really bad.
Yeah, Mitch was bad when they decided to go to Nick Foles, and I think the benching inspired him to play a lot better throughout the end of the season. So his numbers will look a lot better than Nick Foles, but he had a little bit of motivation, inspiration. And he was like, "Damn, I got benched. Like these niggas were really gonna say fuck me." So of course that nigga he gonna put up 30 points in his last few years. Like Mitch Trubisky had a point to prove, but the problem is all of us who know football know it was meaningless. So at the end of the day, if you're a Bears fan, you're stuck in quarterback purgatory because your bad quarterback decided to show a little bit of emotion at the end of the season, and he's probably going to win you a playoff game because the one thing that can stop a complete team is a complete team that doesn't have a reliable quarterback. And as much as I love Drew Brees, he's not a reliable quarterback anymore. He's still smart, but when you lose that arm, bro, like sometimes even when you lose the arm, sometimes you think you can still make the throws that you used to make. That's what happened with Peyton towards the end. That's why Peyton his last year had 9 touchdowns and 17 picks because he was smart enough to know the right play, but his arm couldn't get it there. And that's about where Drew Brees is at. And to the point you were making, the dude, he had 11 cracked ribs earlier this year, man. Like, and when he came back, he obviously didn't look the same. And I just think the Bears have just enough. It's not so much the Bears are even a better team, but the Bears have just enough to beat the Saints.
All right, in the last game of the wild card weekend, another game. How did this become a prime? Well, yeah, Browns Steelers. It makes sense. All right, so Browns Steelers prime time.
Second 2 out of 3 games.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, third time they met. I think the Steelers won both games, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not.
No, the Browns had to win the last game to get in.
Oh, yeah. But that's the game they started Mason Rudolph, man. Like, that shit don't fucking count. All right, so this is a game where I know the Browns are missing their coach, missing a lot of their coaching staff. Real short and sweet. This is I'm not going to say a must-win game for Baker, but if you're going to be remembered beyond being a player in this current generation, like, they're going to remember you. You win this. Like, you already got cachet. You're the quarterback that took the Browns to the playoffs for the first time. You feel me? First time in 17 years. You're the quarterback.
That don't mean shit.
Okay, it don't mean shit to you, nigga. It means shit in fucking Cleveland, bro. Like, however you feel about it, bro.
They gotta give him a trophy or something.
They might. Like, this Cleveland,
you
nigga.
ass feel that way,
bro. It's fucking Cleveland, dog. They don't have nothing, bro. Like, they love their Browns. So trust me, it don't mean shit to you. It means something to them, bro. And it will really mean a lot if not only you got us to the playoffs, but you beat the Steelers in the playoffs. So, I don't dislike it. The only thing to me is I think not having Kevin Stefanski is going to be a fucking big deal. I don't like the Steelers. You know me. I think they're the most fraudulent 11-0 team, and I was proven right. They're the most fraudulent 11-0 team I've ever seen in my life.
And it was 12-4 too.
Yeah, and they ended 12-4. I do not like the Steelers. I think there's a lot of wrong with that team. I think the defense is good. I think the defense is overrated because they have a really great player in TJ Watt. But Baker is not going to have his play caller. You feel me? And I don't know what that is. Like, how many playoff games do you go when your coach is not even going to be there, bro? Like, you feel me? Your coach and play caller, bro. Your coach and offensive coordinator, dog. So I don't know what kind of impact that's going to have. But, nobody fucking cares. Baker, you got to figure it out. It's one of those games because the Steelers don't really do anything that the Browns defense can't handle. They run a lot of screens, a lot of crossing routes. You feel me? Denzel Ward is a really good cornerback in that situation. I know Myles Garrett was damn near Defensive Player of the Year before COVID, and he has not been the same after COVID. But if he has a dominant game, I don't really see why the Steelers should win this game other than the Browns just fucking lay an egg, bro. Like, and it's dependent on health. It's dependent on how good their good players are going to play in that game. If I get Myles Garrett, who's this Myles Garrett after COVID, hey, who fucking knows, bro? Like, if I could get the guy who was really fucking good before COVID, I'd like my chances with the Browns better. But I still, for whatever reason, like the Browns.
Well, you like the Browns because the Browns are the better team. Like that's not up to debate. Like that's not a question. Everything structurally to the receivers, to the running backs, everything you would put on the Steelers side except the quarterback.
No. Because I think the Steelers have a worse quarterback. Ben is not good, bro.
Ben is absolutely better than Baker. Ben is absolutely better than Baker, bro.
Oh, God, bro.
Oh,
come on. Why? Why do you think that, bro? Why do you think that, bro?
Because Baker is sitting, as much as you sit there, and I hate this shit. This is one of the things I hate the most. I would forever hate this. Don't be the nigga that you're riding the wave, bro, and talk like you the starter. You the reason why they winning. Baker is not the reason why that team is winning.
So what's the reason why that team is winning?
Because they have Nick Chubb and they have Hunt. That's why they're winning, bro. They fucking balling. They're running the ball down niggas' throat, bro. I seen this nigga.
So I can say that the reason why the Steelers are winning is because they have T.J. Watt, they have Bud Dupree, they have what's the guy that y'all had? Micah Fitzpatrick. The Steelers won 11 games primarily because of their fucking defense, bro. Their offense was not scoring shit.
That's absolutely true. But Big Ben is still a better quarterback.
Why?
Because he is, fool.
All right, bro. I see where it's going, dog.
But Gerson, did you like watch any games with Big Ben this year, man? Like Ben did not, bro. Ben is not having the type of season that you think he had. Like Baker was able to make more plays, make better throws than fucking Ben this year. And I'm not a Baker fan at all, but at this point,
Baker after Odell Beckham was a really good quarterback. What do you hate? You hate that that's a fact? You hate that that's a fact?
So wait,
you hate that that's a actual fucking fact? Everything went up. Yards per attempt, completion percentage, touchdowns, interception rate went down.
Hey, you know what? You absolutely right, bro. You absolutely right.
I am right. That's
the
facts.
Browns should win.
Like, what's there to argue, bro?
The Browns should win. The Browns should absolutely win.
If they don't win,
absolutely
so if Big Ben looks like shit and the Steelers win, is he still a better quarterback, even though if he had a bad game, or he's been playing similar to how he's been playing the entire season, which is mediocre? That makes him a better quarterback.
Yeah, he's mediocre. He passed for 65%, have 3,800 yards,
nigga.
33 touchdowns.
If I throw literally every pass within 2 or 5 yards, of course I'm going to have a high completion percentage. Their whole offense is designed on screens and crossing routes. That's it. That's all they do.
There's absolutely nothing that you can point at and tell me Baker did better than this nigga.
I don't know. Be more accurate. I don't know. Have a stronger arm at this point. Like, I don't know. Be more mobile. Like, what are you talking about? Like, go run a bootleg with Ben Roethlisberger.
His completion percentage is not higher. His touchdowns is 6 less, and he has like this nigga is riding a wave to wins, bro. Either you are the quarterback that win you the game, or you're a quarterback that
okay. So this is what we're gonna do.
The quarterback that rides.
You be the guy that just looks at stats. Okay, so think about this, right? You just mentioned Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Am I gonna have as much touchdowns if we're running the ball?
That's because you can't throw the ball, fool.
No, that's because we're successful running the ball. Like, what are you talking about? If I'm throwing the ball downfield more and I have longer plays, am I going to have the same completion percentage if I'm not throwing 5 yards in front of me, bro? Like,
you got it.
But Gerson, to Herb's point, to the point Herb is making, just because your running game is successful doesn't mean that your quarterback is bad. Like, it doesn't have to be like Baker could be a good quarterback with a really good running game. It doesn't have to be, he's only good because of the running game. Like, it doesn't have to be that.
All right, you know what? So you like the Steelers?
Wait, no.
Do you like the Steelers or not, bro? I don't care about who's the better
you
quarterback.
got
Do
it.
you like the Steelers? Who do you like? Browns or Steelers, bro? And why do you like the Steelers, bro?
I just think they have the better quarterback. And it's simple as that. Like everything you say, bro. You can say all that, fam. Why not? Like dead ass, fam. Every fucking opportunity he has to show that he was a great quarterback, he fucking suck at. When he ball on the garbage ass niggas, he love talking his shit. Hey man, I'm just doing things. I'm putting in the work. All that bullshit, bro. When it's him and he look like doo-doo, fam, he got nothing to say. None of his fucking I hate him. I just genuinely hate him. And
no,
that's
we
it, bro.
obviously we can see the Baker hate spewing through your pores right now, man.
And
Like,
Baker averaged 7.7, and Ben Roethlisberger averaged 6.9 every attempt, bro. So you right, fam. This nigga is balling, bro.
No,
but everything else outside of that, Baker's the worst quarterback. But you know what? I'm wrong.
but it's not even about that though. Like you have to look at the team. I think the
Quarterback
one thing,
rating way worse.
I think the one thing that'll affect the Browns though, and it probably shouldn't considering like the kind of team that they are, is that like not having your play caller. I mean that makes a difference, bro. I think that'll play a factor. But I still think the Browns will still win. I mean, as long as they stick to the game plan that they normally stick
Passer
to.
rating, not quarterback rating.
But still, bro. Like I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know what you see in Big Ben at this point, bro.
I don't see greatness. It's not the foolishness of like, oh, I see a great quarterback. No, Ben Roethlisberger is clearly outside of his prime, or clearly somewhere outside of his prime.
Of course.
So nonetheless, I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is when I see Baker go through 5 games without throwing a fucking touchdown, or 3 games to be fair. I know it's 2 games for sure.
But he also went through like 5-6 games where he didn't even throw a pick. So what are we talking about here? Like,
yeah, so what? Everybody has that. Everyone that's good that have that. And my point is, when he play garbage teams, he looks great, bro. But when he plays winning teams,
so when he played the Ravens, in arguably the best game of the year,
my nigga, they were down 24.
How did he look?
They were down 24 before, and the nigga went to go take a shit. The quarterback would just go take a shit. You came back in the game. Now I hate that shit.
Come on, bro. Stop it.
I hate that shit with a
Bro,
passion,
so
dog.
so wait. So does he play? So does Baker play Lamar? Or does he play the fucking Ravens defense?
He plays
What
the
the fuck
Ravens.
does Lamar have to do
It
with
don't
that?
matter, bro. My whole
Like,
point
what does he
is,
have to fucking do with
no,
that?
my
bro?
point is why
Baker scored on their defense, nigga.
Yeah, he scored on his defense after they down 24. They down 14 or whatever
They
the
still
fuck they
brought him
was.
back and fucking tied the game, Gerson.
Oh my God, did he win? Bro, I'm just tired, fam. I'm not part of the Baker train. I see a quarterback
Bro,
that's
I'm not
riding.
part of the Baker train.
No,
either,
but that's what
it's-
it is when you telling me he's better than the fucking Ben Roethlisberger, fam.
Bro,
As bad as Ben
But
Roethlisberger
that's
is,
we were talking about who's gonna win the game, bro. Like, what are you saying, bro?
I said the
And
better
we were
quarterback
just
is Ben
bringing up to the
Roethlisberger.
point that Ben has not been like Ben, despite what his numbers show. You were the main one just talking about before the podcast. We were talking about, oh man, we're gonna look at Harden's numbers and say he was better. You're doing the same shit. You're looking at Ben's numbers and saying,
you telling
like, oh,
me
he's better.
Ben Roethlisberger is
Bro.
not better than fucking Baker, man? Like, we can understand when we talk about him against other great quarterbacks. We talking about fucking Baker Mayfield, fam.
All right, bro. Like, dog, we're splitting hairs at this point,
It's
bro.
splitting hairs?
It's not go. No, you're right, bro. I didn't mean to get you off, bro. It's a difference of opinions, dog. That's it, bro.
It's different. I can understand it's different. I'm talking about the fact that you think he's as good as Ben.
I don't even care, man.
You don't care, and that's
who
cool,
do you
bruh.
think is going to win the game? Obviously, the Steelers. The Steelers have no excuse for Gerson because if they have the better quarterback, the much better quarterback, that they should win. Is that what you're saying, Gerson?
The Browns can still win. I'm just mad.
Bro, you did all that, bro. You
No,
did
because
all that
here's the
not
thing.
to pick the Steelers.
Bakers is not
really,
the reason.
bro.
No, because Baker's not going to be the reason why they win, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god. But wait. It's just one more thing. So if Baker's not the reason they win, is he the reason they lose too?
Oh, he's definitely the reason why they lose.
All right, that's all I wanted to hear. Go ahead, Herb.
Nah, man. Let me go ahead and close out that. So, we pretty much touched down all the games. We're gonna do this next week again for the divisional round. But you know what I'm saying? Just as a special treat to everybody who's been down with us, I have everybody hitting us up saying, "Hey, we're so happy that you brought Bad Dope and You're the Worst back." So to end the season off, to end the regular season, because once all the stuff we're gonna be doing is gonna be going forward, like draft and actual playoffs, and just really get into the actual playoffs. I do want to go ahead and give our nominees for worst dope, not the week, but the year. And there's been some all-time bad dope, been some incredible instances of just bad football. The fact that Matt Patricia got to be a head coach in 2020 after what he did in 2019 was bad dope. Watching seeing Anthony Lynn be in charge of a fucking medical staff that stabbed at their fucking quarterbacks in the lung, it was definitely some bad dope. Watching Adam Gase for almost an entire 2 years is bad dope. That's just letting you know the kind of bad dope that we had in 2020 and beyond 2020. My nominee for worst dope of the year, though, it's not bad dope of the week. This is worst dope of the year. Has to be the Falcons, who mathematically defied any kind of odds at the start of the fourth quarter, and with 30 seconds left, matter of fact, with 10 seconds left, they had a 99.8% chance to. Actually, no, I'll take that back. I'll be respectful. It was a 98.9% chance of winning the game. That's almost 100. You can't do 100 because it's impossible to do 100, but that's the closest you'll ever get to having a 100% chance of winning the game. And they did not know how to recover an onside kick. You can't make that up. You just can't. So that's my nominee of worst dope of the year. What about yours, Rod?
Herb, that's hilarious, bro. And I just want to make a quick note in regards to what Herb said. I was doing a little research before the podcast, and like people who keep up with Football Outsiders, they have their DVOA rankings, and they were talking about the Falcons and how the Falcons are one of the best 4-win teams ever. Because like they were projected to win like 8 games, bro, at least, and they managed to not even do that. So her bringing up that game is just one of the many things that made the Falcons just such an awful team to watch this year. But my worst dope of the year, and I have what's the word I'm looking for here? Like I have the luxury of being able to put this out on a platform. Cam Newton. You had a season where you threw 2,600 yards of offense, 8 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. Anytime a quarterback finishes a season with more picks than touchdowns, it has to be regarded liable as worst dope of the year. Now, I know you didn't have much of a team around you, but neither did Tom Brady the year before, and he made a lot better with what with the lemons he was given. Tom Brady was able to make some lemonade. I don't know what the fuck you made, Cam Newton, but it wasn't good. And clearly it wasn't because the Patriots didn't even sniff the playoffs. But Cam Newton, worst dope of the year.
The worst dope of the year for me, it gots to go to the fucking Jets. And simply because everybody waited for them to get the number 1 pick. They had the number 1 pick. And they fucked it up, bro. So they failed that the mission, the goal that they had set for the year, and they played pretty horrible. So what draft pick did they end up getting?
They got number 2 pick.
They got the number 2 pick, so they won't.
Go ahead. But and to your point, it would be the worst dope of all time if Trevor Lawrence becomes who everybody predicts he is going to become. And if he is like a Hall of Famer, then yeah, bro, it'll be one of the worst dopes ever. Like unimaginable worst dope, bro.
You know, as you mentioned that, Gerson, shout out to my man Greg Williams, man. you fought hard for the Trevor Lawrence bandwagon, man. Like you even went on an all-out blitz, the final play of the game, allowing the Raiders to escape. Greg Williams died for this cause, and the Jets wasted it by winning like 2 weeks later, bruh. Like, man, like Greg Williams, I'm sorry, man. Like your sacrifice was in vain. Jets definitely a candidate for worst dope of the year.
Yeah, the difference between their worst dope is that it'll be a worst dope that will haunt them forever. For eons, bro. All right, so let me go ahead and close out the football portion of the show with a special edition of You're the Worst. Normally we have the worst 5 performances of the week, but because there was a litany and a plethora of bad quarterback performances, it was hard to get 10. This is a special 10. I have 10 of the worst performances of the year. And Rod, dude, you would have thought it was a slobber knocker, dog. Everybody wanted a piece of this, boy. Getting this down to 10 was hard, dog. It was really, really hard. But I had to have due diligence and honorable mentions anytime that Matt Stafford was on the field, bruh. Anytime that Gardner Minshew was on the field. Anytime that Nick Foles was on the field, definite honorable mentions, man. But the 10 worst performances of the year, starting with Kyler Murray. And let me go ahead and get this thing rocking, baby. Let's see here. Starting with Kyler Murray, Week 11 against the Cam Newton-led Patriots. My boy decided to, have a whopping 170 yards passing. On 34 attempts. Did not throw a touchdown. Of course he threw a pick and took 2 beautiful sacks with a 57.9 quarterback rating. And it doesn't seem bad in hindsight. Those don't look bad. But then you realize he had a unimaginable 4.3 yards per attempt, dog. Coming in at number 9. And this is Week 8, Gersh's favorite quarterback, Baker Mayfield, only completed 12 passes, did not throw a touchdown, only had 122 passing yards, and had a 37.4 QBR.
Did they win that game?
No, that's a game they lost to the Raiders, bro, when it was super windy. Coming in at number 8, our boy Danny Dimes. My boy decided that he wanted to have a game where he took 6 fucking sacks in it, bruh. How do you get sacked 6 times in one game, dog? You feel me? And not to mention taking the 6 sacks, bro, because that's bad enough, dog. But my homeboy decided that he wanted to have a beautiful 5.6 yards per attempt and have only 179 passing yards while completing less than 55% of his passes. Coming in at number 3, and this is one of the games where we should have known that this was going to be a bad season for Carson Wentz. Week 3 versus the Bengals, where he threw 3 picks, and 2 of them came in the red zone, bro. That's when we should have known that this might be a really bad season for the kid, bro. 47 attempts, only had 200 yards to show for it, dog. 3 sacks, 2 picks, bro. Coming in at number 6, Tua Tagovailoa. And this is a game they won, ironically. But this is going to be the game where it was kind of rough for him because with 22 attempts, he only had 94 yards passing. And it got to the point where Brian Flores was like, all right, bro, you got to go. Like, we need – hey, throw Fitz back here, dog. I had enough. I seen enough of this shit, bro. Maybe next year, bro. Coming in at number 5, Mike Glennon. That's it. I don't even need to just give you stats. I just got to say Mike Glennon, bro. But I'm going to give you stats anyway. Can you imagine that this man only had 85 yards in a whole football game, bro, while having 23 attempts? 85 yards on 23 attempts. That right there. I don't have to talk about anything else. Coming in at number 4, Kirk Cousins, Week 2. Kirk Cousins had the rare game where not only did he get sacked 3 times, not only did he have 113 passing yards on 26 attempts, 3 of those 26 attempts went to the other team, dog. And he only completed 11 passes to a beautiful 9.5 QBR for that week. Mind you, this is what I'm talking about. This is the top 10. That's only number 4, bro. That's only number 4. You know who it is, baby. Coming in at number 3. You feel me? All the way from Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Florida, by way of Auburn, by way of the Carolina Panthers, and he found his way on the New England Patriots, Cameron Newton Jr. Week 7. This is when you, just like you knew that it was going to be bad for Carson Wentz, Week 7 against the 49ers, when my man decided to not even try, bruh. 15 attempts, only completed 9 passes, 98 yards, and 3 of them things went to the 49ers players, baby, with a whopping 4.1 QBR. Coming in at number 2, Sam Darnold. You didn't think Sam Darnold was going to make it? Come on now. You knew Sam Darnold was going to be on this, man. Come on, you know that.
Sammy D.
You know Sammy D going to be on this thing, man. Sammy D, shout out to the boy with 12 completions for 120 yards and 2 picks, 6 sacks, no touchdowns in 1 game. Boy, that boy went for a triple-double of bad stats, baby. Let's go. And coming in at number 1, the chosen one, the man who reinvented what it took to be the worst quarterback of the year, the man who was so bad that he didn't even make it to see the end of the season. When you get released with the game to go and they just can't wait to get rid of you, and you was a first-round pick and you got released in your second year, you're hands down the worst quarterback of the year, dog. Dwayne Haskins, shout out to the kid, bro. Unfortunately, if you don't make it to the season, if you're so bad that they have you benched, if you're so bad that they make you a healthy scratch, if you're so bad that they'll rather choose a nigga coming off of a broken leg to start you, then you got to be the worst quarterback of the week. So Dwayne Haskins, I say this, and I hope you find a home somewhere else. But for the 2020 season, you're the worst QB of the year. All right, man. So real quick, I know you boys wanted to talk basketball. I'm finna sit back and let y'all cook. It's been a couple games. I don't really know. I don't put much stock into this. I don't even know who cares about playing right now, dog. Like, to me, it's never been more apparent that niggas in the NBA have given less fucks about the regular season, dog. These niggas make too much fucking money. They're too popular, and they all understand that none of this shit matters unless you get a ring, bro. So regular season basketball is never really interesting to me. Like, yeah, you'll get the occasional great performance like Steph Curry had 62, because that's, you feel me? Once you get hot and once you get in that mode, now the competitive juices come in and you want to see how far you can take it. But for the most part, bro, it's just a bunch of benign games to me. So I don't really put too much stock. I don't really take it too serious. But you have and I'm talking to you, Rod, you have a unique reason to watch this season, because there's a lot of stuff about Steph Curry's legacy and what that means. So I'm going to let you go ahead and take the floor, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it would seem to me that most of the basketball world, most of basketball's fans have not been satisfied with what my man has done so far up into his career. MVP season, unanimous MVP season. We can talk about the validity of the 3 rings. If you know, some people will say, "Oh, his first ring, LeBron." You know, LeBron didn't have any help. Not like people are gonna give him that just due against Toronto, but that's a topic for a different day. We could talk about Kevin Durant was on for 2 other rings, whatever you want to say. This season, Steph Curry has to prove to, at least not to me, but to other people, that he's as great as a player as others like myself would say he is. And it has been, at least through the first, what is it? It's been like 6-7 games. I'll say this about the Warriors. I wholeheartedly believe, man, if Klay Thompson does not get hurt, even with the talent that we have on this team, I think they could have competed again. I don't think they would have made it to the finals. In my heart of hearts, I would have loved if they did, but I don't think they would have made it over the Lakers. But man, bro, I was watching that game against the Clippers yesterday. I'm thinking to myself, like, boy, this shit, like, Steph Curry shooting wise was playing like, he played well in other aspects of the game, but in terms of shooting, he only put up 13 points, man. And the Clippers still couldn't blow that shit out, bro. And I had my mans here sit there and tell me that the fucking Clippers could have fucking smashed them, bro. You crazy as hell, man. No way in hell, dude. The fucking, you can flick me off all you want, bro. The fucking, you lucky. Y'all so. I'm watching that game thinking the Clippers are so. I would have loved this cock down the playoffs, bro.
Hey, good chance.
Yo, so lucky.
Hey, guess what? You gotta wait till next year, buddy. So shut up.
Nah, no, man. Lucky for y'all. Lucky for y'all.
Listen. Like I said, the other podcast, I was like, yo, he can't. Nah. Now seeing how they play, seeing everything, like, yeah, boy, you gotta make it to the AC. Because I originally didn't believe in him. But, like, seeing what he does and seeing that just so happens that every time he really shows out, they win. I need you to really show out more often, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Like, so, but here's my thing. People, like, what more does a nigga have to show you that he hasn't already shown you, bro? Like, that's my thing.
Whoa. Bro, I remember sitting there. I'm like, bro, how come they keep fucking winning, bro? And I was sitting there. I was thinking that was back on their first championship. And honestly, the unanimous MVP year, like, he really looked like the best player, bro. Like, I was like, yo, this nigga, you know what, man, I can't. And then he lost, fam. And right when he lost that as a 72-win team, and he lost, bro, it was like, damn, bro. That was a flame out that I would expect from James Harden, bro. So, like, at the end of the day, like, what he did is what he did. And this is just a season to put more respect on his name. Like, you can't take away the 3 championships. You can't take away the unanimous MVP. You can't take away this. But if I could look at it and be like, when he didn't have his running mates, when he didn't have that, and it was up to him to carry the team, and he couldn't, that's an indictment, bro. And that's just how I feel, and a lot of people feel, because a bunch of it felt like they were the perfect team, perfect setup. Everything, for some fucking reason, everything just accumulated really well for them and his career.
You want to know what happened? They got a coach that knew how to maximize their abilities.
And he's such a great coach, he's got to maximize this team.
Well, guess what? They're maximizing them now, right? Well, they're better than people were fucking ready to throw the Warriors into the ditch. Oh yeah. And all of a sudden, and now look, I think they have a winning record right now. Oh no, they lost to the Clippers. So I
think they're 500 or something like that.
Yeah, they're around there.
My point is still more like, all right, bro, let's see. You know what I'm saying?
Steph Curry's gonna be fine, bro.
I know he's gonna be fine, but I'm talking about in the sense of, like, is he gonna be what James Harden had to do, like carry the team, bring them somewhere? Can he do that? Because from what I can see, that ain't him. But, you know, in due time, like, I do feel like the importance of Klay is tremendous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't deny it. Like, I felt like everybody had an integral part to their success. Like, they wouldn't win without Draymond, they wouldn't win without Klay, and they wouldn't win without Steph.
Bro, you can say that about, like, any championship team, though. Every championship team had guys who did their part. There's a reason, like, Jordan winning 6 rings is not just because, like, he was great. Like, he had the necessary pieces that were enough for him to win.
But there was a difference of, like, I never seen a team where it was just a fucking mix. It was like it was like one.
Were you shocked at how well the Warriors blended together and how successful that was? Is that what it is?
It wasn't that. It's just more like, the best way I could put it is like, you got 3 different players that come together and they become one great fucking team, dog.
Yeah, but you also got to remember, though, that especially the first 2 years, they had a lot of depth on that team. Like,
the depth was the depth, but you know what it was.
Well, of course.
Like, that point of more like, I truly feel like Klay was very fucking integral. And The reason why I really hate what they did, bro, with KD, dog. You don't know what Clay would have became. Like when Clay didn't make it to the All NBA team and he was crying about that. I was happy. I was like, yeah, bitch, that's what you get for begging that nigga to
Bro,
fucking be on.
Why you say he did it? How you know? Like Clay didn't care. Like,
Nah,
bro,
man. I need niggas.
Why don't you hold KD responsible for that?
I do absolutely. Like
Like you always make it seem.
When
like
have I not called him a bitch?
Because at the end of the day, like, and this is just my opinion, and mind you, he was on my team, bro. But this is my opinion, like, this is just my mindset. Maybe I watched too much fucking anime. I grew up with the rival complex. But if I'm as great a player, like if I'm KD and there's Steph Curry, we're rivals. We're the two best players in our conference. I can't join you, bro. Especially after I lost 3-1. And he did that shit with no shame. And I'm not mad at him. I can't be mad at him. He got my team to win, bro. You know, I never talk shit when KD was on the team because if you put Steph, KD, and Clay on any team in the league, who's beating that team? So for me to talk shit would just be like pointless. But my point is, you know, like you can't just always be like, they begged him to come. Like we don't know the details of that. Like KD could have been like, damn, bro. Like
they all went to him though. They all went to him. They all went to the Hampton Five, bro. Come on, man.
Bro, listen.
Come on,
KD was going around visiting different teams, bro. He was weighing his options. And if you want to be realistic, he made the best move. Like, okay, like at the end of the day, we're saying this shit now. In 20 years, people are going to look back and say, oh, Kevin Durant was at least, up until this point, a 2-time champion and 2 times finals MVP. And he played with a team and he was a 2-time finals MVP on a team where he wasn't even really the leader. Steph is the leader, but he was the best player on that team, and that means a lot.
Listen, bro.
But
I could tell you off rip. The biggest reason why everybody hate the move, it was everything it was thought to be. Like when Iggy, what's his name? Somebody, when I listen to Dan Le Batard, I forget his name. He go by the name Iggy, but I can't pronounce his real name. Whatever. But anyway, when he said, just imagine all the shots that Barnes was taking and missing, and just put KD there. And then when you put it, like,
but why do you think they got him? Bro, do you realize how bad Harrison Barnes was in the fucking final? Bro, don't even make me relive those last 3 games, bro. Like, bro, it came to the point that in the last 3 games in that finals, they were leaving that nigga. You want to talk about wide open? That nigga could have made sweat angels on the court, bro. Like, he could have just made sweat angels on the court, bro. That he was so fucking open, bro. And he was bricking them. Like, you mad at them for trying to get someone who could surefire? The Warriors wanted someone who could at least make open shots, and they got someone who could make any shot. So what, you gonna be mad at them for that, bro?
Yes.
Okay.
Whole ass niggas.
Hey, listen, man. More power to listen. He made that move too. He's
the one.
He chose to join with the team that beat him when he was up 3-1.
First of all, y'all really doing this? This nigga ain't been on the team in fucking 2 years. Y'all really doing this right now, my nigga?
1 year was an injury, bro.
I don't give a fuck, nigga. The
Well,
nigga
was
ain't
it
been there
been 2? Yeah.
Yes, this is
Let's
gonna
make it 2 years.
It's gonna make it the second season, bro. I get it. I love it. It's a passionate conversation, but we've had this for over a year now, dog. Like the niggas out here hooping on a whole nother team, bro. Like I don't know if you know this, bro. Like,
well, it goes back to the conversation of how much validity do you put into everything that happened, and how much respect do you put on. No one puts respect on their name, bro. It felt like, I understand that you said it was bubbling, but it just felt like it came out of nowhere, bro. At the end of the day, the team that was always getting to the second round and getting out just went to the championship, and then went to the championship 5 years in a row, bro. So sue me if you think I don't think it's legitimate or see him as one of the best players ever. I think he's the best shooters ever. One of the best shooters ever. Yes. Anything more than that, you're not getting it out of me, bro, because I just don't believe it in that sense. I just see it as like everything worked well for him and everything got to and is, to be fair, I'm a shit on my favorite player, bro. Kawhi, dog. Granted, the situation changed. Like, I look back at his highlights in 2016, bro. undeniably, fam. Like, if this nigga never got hurt, I absolutely believe he would be the best player in the league. Period. The bounce, the move, the way. Like, he honestly has an old man game now. And
He
it's
does
dead
have an old
ass.
man. It's kind of funny to watch Kawhi play basketball, bro.
No, and the worst thing about it is, fool, I looked at him, I was like, dog, this nigga only 29, bro, and he already have an old man game, bro. That's the part.
Bro, they installed the triangle so he can get more mid-range shots, bro. Like, like, come on, man. He old as fuck already at 29. Those knees, boy.
But it just goes back to seeing how everything plays out with, like, Paul George, man. Paul George is just like Kyrie in the sense of everything flows, bro. Like, he's a beautiful basketball player to watch play.
When he's on, yeah. When Paul George is on, man.
No, even if he's off, he's fluid. Like, it looks like it's supposed to go in and then it clinks off, bro, or hit the side of the backboard.
Fair enough.
So, like, there's beautiful players. There's players that, you know, like, there was a picture of Kawhi bouncing the ball, fam, and everything he does looks forced. Like, his game is not pretty. It's just effective. And, like, damn near a quarter of the ball is bounced. Like, it looked like he threw the ball into the ground, fam, to bounce it, dog. So it's just more of, like, that's how much force he put in his game and his movement, and none of it flows. It's just effective. And seeing the highlights of him in 2016 and how he had to step on everybody, he was just blowing by niggas and all that. I was like, God damn, bro. You don't realize people games change. And I feel like Steph Curry game is gonna always be his game.
All right, so I do like that whole conversation in regards to Steph Curry. But I do want to go ahead and use the little time that we have left to just see what y'all guys saw or what interesting things that y'all have seen in these first 6 or 7 couple games. Like, me, I'll just say mine's real quick. You know me, I'm a Chris Paul stan. That's my guy. Wherever he goes, you're gonna have a good team. And I find it interesting watching him with the Valley Boys over there in Phoenix. That's what really, them and the Nets are the only 2 teams I'm really, really paying attention to. So I try to watch them. What about y'all? You obviously, Rob, but besides the Warriors.
Funny enough, bro, I be keeping up with the Heat too. Like, I've never been I was a huge D-Wade fan. Like, basketball is that weird sport where you could be fans of a player, not a team. Like, I don't see that much with other sports, but in basketball, you see that a lot. Like, people will ride with Kobe and ride with LeBron wherever he goes. Like, you ride with Kawhi. Herb rode with Chris Paul. Like, in my case, I started riding with Steph Curry and just became a Warriors fan, but I fuck with the Heat too. And I'm hoping they got to pick it up, man. Like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like,
I feel like they're not trying, and it's like everyone, like Herbie said,
effort, yeah, right.
No, not everybody's putting in the effort, and it's not fair, but it's understandable, bro. Hopefully later in the season, niggas really do put their foot forward to make it to the playoffs and all that other stuff. I don't understand. Are they gonna put the playoffs in the bubble again? Because I think that would be fucked up.
I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna go that route again. But it'll be the reason why I bring up the Heat though is mainly because I'm wondering how they're gonna fare. Because, like, people are saying that because of the bubble is why they got as far as they did, and that's debatable. But they haven't. To me, with how they eased. You got the Nets. You got a better Sixers teams. Like, they got to do better if they want to get back to anywhere close to what they were.
Nah, that's not true. I honestly feel like the only 2 teams you can truly say that are better than them right now. Well, by the end of the season, like, it's got to be the Nets and the Nets and the fucking 76ers. Like, those are the 2 teams I can look at them and be like, all right. Because the thing that the Heat has is Jimmy Butler's great, borderline a great player. Really good player, borderline great player, and then they just literally, like, Bam Adebayo is flourishing the way I didn't think he would. Like, when they got him at I think it was either the 10th pick or something like that way back, I was just like, bro, what? Okay, whatever. I never would have imagined he'd be this type of player, bro. And he is absolutely worth the max, and I'm glad he had his extension. Um, Tyler Hero is slowly coming along, but like I said, I like Dragic. I do not know why none is not getting any minutes like that, because he's either or. I like him more than Tyler. I know Tyler is a rookie and but
they're both rookies, bro. They're in the same
yeah,
class.
but one is 25 and one is 18. You know what I'm saying? When they rookie, so
Fair
like
enough.
you know what I'm saying. None is close to a finished product, and right now I would absolutely believe none is better than Tyler, because Tyler is the kid that's getting to do whatever the fuck he wants, and I understand that's good for his development. But do I truly believe he should be one of the starting guards? No, because at least like I could put none. Even if it's not none or it's not joggers, we got Duncan. Like outside of those names, I think Tyler Hero is not. He's the future, obviously, but I don't think he should be like playing more, or starting over none joggers or Duncan. But you know, it's whatever. They know what they're doing. They know how they gotta do it. I just hope that, like I said, everything picks up. I want to talk about the 76ers for a little bit. I do not believe in Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers destroyed me too many times for me to ever sit there. I don't care if they beat the 72-win record or 73-win record. I don't care. I do not believe in the 76ers. I'm saying that right now. Who else in the fucking Wizards? I just want to share that. Like, the best defender on that team is Russell Westbrook. And that's
Bro.
saying a lot.
Hey, y'all seen that Bradley Beal was hot, bro? Like, Bradley Beal scored 60 points, and them niggas still lost, bro.
Yeah,
I know, right?
No.
this goes back to last year when they had the worst defense in the league, bro. At the end of the day, dog, what are you mad about, bro? You know your team. Like, you were there last year. You're not new to this, my nigga.
Right.
The only player that's new is Russ, who don't play defense either, nigga.
No, but here's the thing about Russ. I know that we sit there and we say he doesn't defend or he can't defend. Like, if we tell Russ to stay in front of someone, I strongly believe in his ability to stay in front of someone. He shows it once in a while, and he does that. But from what I could tell and what I've seen, bro, no one else can stay in front of anyone, bro. Anyone, and they do not communicate on defense. The best they can do is just run up on someone with their hands up. That's what they do. Oh, we got a double team. Run up, hands up. Ball goes through their hands to the person to get an assist. Man, I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, wow, this is terrible. And I was just wondering, are they putting the effort for defense? And they don't. So they gotta, and it's fucked up. The only win they got was without Russell Westbrook, and everybody's putting it on Russell Westbrook for how bad this team is. It's like, oh,
As if they weren't already a fucking train wreck before he got there.
I don't know what
man.
Can they do. I don't believe John Wall is better than Russell Westbrook, but it does look like Houston won for getting off of Russell Westbrook. It's the beginning, but it's just I'm just going off of what I see, bro. What you see? Like what anything you want to talk about or any team?
Oh no, I mean, I just watch as many Warriors games as I can stay awake for, bro. Although if I were to mention like a player that kind of came out of nowhere for me, that I'm gonna start keeping a closer eye on, and I watched someone, I forget, I think it's one of those YouTube guys who does basketball videos, not B-ball, not Coach from B-ball Breakdown, but it's another dude. He was talking about a player that Christian Wood. He was saying that kid, he talked about him in the offseason. He talked about him like before the season started. He said, yo, when he goes to the Rockets, like, watch out for him. I was just like, yeah, all right, well, we'll see. And then he's actually looked pretty good for the Rockets so far. I'm wondering what they're going to do with Harden. I imagine they're still going to trade him, but it'll be interesting to see going forward, like, how that team meshes together with Wall and Wood and Harden. It's not much. It doesn't make sense to kind of speculate about it now, but it'll be interesting to see it unfold as the season goes on.
pass me the mic, boy. Well, you know me, I'll be on that basketball, bro. You passing me the mic like I got some.
You the outro nigga.
Oh, my bad, bro. I seen a BBW thread on Twitter, dog. You know how I get, bro. My bad, bro. My bad. Hey, everybody, thank you for listening. We'll see y'all next week, man. Deuces.